What is a digital nomad?
That's a broadly defined term, and I think it was first used in 1996. And that's about the time that I stepped out of a music store called Virgin Megastore, one of Richard Branson's companies. Yep. I was in the city of Amsterdam, sat down at a cafe table, and wrote in my journal that there's not a country I don't want to visit. And I want to find a partner. I want to marry someone that's willing to do the same. Mm-hmm. So for me, living around the world was birthed 30 years ago.
Got it.
Right around the time when that rule came into existence, where people could work from wherever they were, with their laptop. That's often viewed from the colonial term expat. It's the location independent. It's the international assignee. A lot of times, it's just that family that says we can work from anywhere. Let's do it.
Right. So you were way ahead of the game before COVID, huh?
Absolutely. And we were a fully remote company before the pandemic, and before the spotlight was on it, as tens of thousands of companies were already.
Right. Well,
also.
As was I. I mean, I've been working, from home for going on 21 years now. So, Andrew, you have extensive experience in healthcare, insurance, and banking industries, locally, regionally, and globally. And your early adoption of the expat nomadic life has really provided you with, some unique experiences and perspectives to break boundaries through the merging of technology with humanity. You volunteered, you've traveled, you lived on several continents, and really learned firsthand that insurance had to evolve to provide relevant, trustworthy, and intuitive, human or person-centered services that world travelers and remote workers needed, as remote work increasingly became normalized and expected. Would you say this is the big problem you're solving for your clients?
Yes. Secondary to that, though, is how it's solved. Because many times people don't go to a hospital in a foreign country. It's the last thing they want to do.
Yeah.
They don't go to the doctor even in their home country.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. As you were about to say, it's a thing that's preventative care is avoided.
Right.
Even the checkup when they know that something's not right. And so the whole process has to be redesigned. There's a great divide often between mental health and physical health when they're really interlinked. So building that in to where people can see therapists without feeling guilty. They can see it without leaving their home. Mm-hmm. They can change therapists if it's not a great one they've been seeing through us. Mm-hmm. And not have to pay and chase to get reimbursed for a claim, because that's one of the major needs and obstacles within our industry is changing how payment is done for the healthcare as well.
Really? Can you say a little bit more about that?
So, yeah, we live with our phones in our hands most of the day, even when we should be sitting in the bathroom at night, and it's still at our bedside. We're grabbing it in the middle of the night, grabbing it, and it's a thing where our phones are closer to us than anything else in life. But yet, most times our insurance can't be managed from our phone.
Right.
So when I say travel tech, those are some of the components to get you into the airport lounge when you're traveling, to have a VPN on your phone.
Right.
But then also to have in our case, it's a MasterCard connected card in your app for your global health insurance, so that can be used to pay for the care, so that you're not having to file claims and get reimbursed to your own credit card. Mm-hmm. These are some of the major changes that have to take place in care around the world as people are choosing to work outside their home cities, and employers or self-employed are saying, how am I going to do this? It's not a trip, so it's not really travel insurance.
Right.
So it's global health insurance, but a lot of people don't realize there's a difference. Yes, comprehensive. You want to make sure maternity or cancer or some major thing is covered. And it's not just a travel insurance sending you home where you don't have insurance, potentially.
So someone like me who's self-employed, Can I buy insurance from you for myself and my team?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that's often the case. People coming to us, they may come through a broker, but then small, medium-sized companies are finding us on Google and TikTok and LinkedIn saying, okay, Insured Nomads, can you cover us? I'm giving my folks freedom to work wherever they want.
Mm-hmm.
And they're choosing to work for the next 6 weeks from the beach instead of the snow.
Right.
So that's ideal. And coming back for more. With us, though, you get 12 months, even if it's only a 6-week policy, you're getting 12 months of mental health. You're getting 12 months of the airport lounge access for delayed flights. So you can use those when you're here at home. So much more than just the health, because, good chances are you're taking care of yourself and you're not going to get sick, not going to get injured.
Right. And I want to come back to that in a little bit, but there are 4 co-founders that you have, you and three others, one of which is your wife. How did this? I mean, did you and Juliana just say, "Hey, this is something we want to get started," and you brought in your other co-founders? What was the genesis of the company?
So, my wife's a travel med doc. I should go back and really specify on that because she's originally a pediatrician.
Right.
Lived and worked in Ghana, West Africa, and did some postgraduate studies in tropical medicine, which is what your travel clinics specialists usually have. She then went on for an MBA, a master's in public health, and was on the corporate side. We have lived and worked around the world, single, married, then with kids, and at some point, I was with a multinational organization representing their HR and operations aspects. I'd seen way too many things happen that should have been avoided. Mm-hmm. Decided that I was going to delve into risk management. Got licensed, credentialed, and appointed with 25 of the leading carriers just in global.
Right.
Then realized, wow, there's not a good solution. This is outdated. It's antiquated.
Right.
So fast forward a few years, Alan Koski joined. He was one of the first employees at Cigna Global. Mm-hmm. Brett Estep came in as chief operating officer, and he was at Aetna International, United Healthcare Global. Right. And so what we've put together is truly something extraordinarily different to disrupt how insurance is designed, delivered, and received by our members. Right. Now, with this, it's the insurance companies usually own the tallest building in any city. Maybe it's rivaled by a bank with that tallest building. I referenced earlier, our goal wasn't to have the buildings because I said we're fully remote pre-pandemic. Right. Now, that's a lot of money in brick and mortar that we can put elsewhere. Right. And from the start, we committed to support the work of eliminating modern-day slavery or human trafficking. And so from every policy purchased and every other way we can, we give and support that movement. We've partnered with an organization called Not for Sale. And this is a key aspect for us because it's part of our efforts to one, protect people through insurance, but protect people from the dangers of this world. Because it's taking place in every country, every province, every state in the world has a problem with modern day slavery. It's often just not discussed and talked about.
Carol Schultz here. Thanks for watching this excerpt from Authentically Successful. The conversation doesn't end there. So if you want to hear this episode in full and all my conversations with many other successful founders and CEOs, please visit verticalelevation.com/podcast.